Would councillors take their seats, please? Yeah, we do. Meeting is called to order. Are there any declarations of interest? Confirmation of the minutes of January 16th. Councillor Cole, Councillor Carmichael Greb, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Please call out the items as they come forward for you to hold. We are beginning at item 4. 3621 Dufferin Street. Councillor Shiner, would you like to move that? It's the company to build the storage units on Dufferin.
Sure.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 5, Ward 15, 6 Sanderstead Avenue and 9 Croham Road.
Madam Chair, I have a motion to expand the notice area that clerks, I believe, has. This is item number 25, yeah. The notice area in the community consultation meeting be extended to include, in addition to the 120-meter radius notice, all landowners and residents residing in the area bounded by Shell Avenue. And it's actually, that's a typo. That should be a B, not an H. It's Bowie, not Howie. Avenue to the north, et cetera, et cetera.
Good one. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Item 6, preliminary report, Oakwood Avenue, numbers 601, 603, and 605. Councillor Cole.
Madam Chair, I have a motion to extend the notice area. I'm used to only having one loud Peruzza next to me. This is strange. That the notice area of the community consultation meeting be extended to include, in addition to 120-meter radius notice or area, all landowners and residents residing in the area bounded by Livingstone Avenue to the north, Times Road and Glenholm Avenue to the west, depending on where you live, Gloucester or Gloucester Grove to the south, and Marley Avenue and Winona Drive to the east. And that the applicant pay the city for the costs associated.
Any comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 7, Councillor Carmichael Greb, 41 Chatsworth Drive, official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment.
Yes, I have an amendment to adopt the staff recommendations, and changing the notice area, notice for the community consultation meeting be given to landowners and residents within a minimum of 500 meters of the site.
Change to 500-meter radius?
Yep.
Comments? Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Councillor Shiner, 33, 37, 39, 41, and 43 Center Street, zoning amendment application.
So I'm going to move the staff recommendations for the public meetings, but change the notice area as per the motion that's been given to staff, which is the notice area for the community consultation meeting be extended to include, in addition to the 120-meter radius areas, all landowners and residents residing in the area bounded by Steeles Avenue east to the north, Villadell Avenue to the east, Comer Avenue to the south, and Young Street to the west. And the applicant pay the cost for the city for the costs associated with extending the notice area.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 9, Councillor Shiner, 21 Clearcrest Avenue zoning bylaw amendment.
So again, Madam Speaker, I'm going to move the staff recommendations, but amend the notification area to include 120-meter radius and all landowners residing in the area bounded by Steeles Avenue east to the north, Laurel Leaf Road, and the Best View Park Ravine to the east, Comer Avenue to the south, and Conacher Drive to the west. The applicant paid the city for the costs associated with extending the notice area.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Councillor Carroll, preliminary report, OPA and zoning amendment application, 2600 Don Mills Road.
Yeah, can I hold it, Madam Speaker? With your indulgence, I'm going to want to speak to it, although it's a preliminary report. I just want to speak to it briefly.
Item 11, speed limit reduction, Nash Drive and Bunnell Crescent. Moved by the chair. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 12, moved by the chair. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 13, Councillor Cole, parking amendments to Cartwright Avenue, east of Caledonia.
Madam Chair, I will move the staff recommendation.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 14 is held. There's a request for a deputation. Item 15, Melrose Avenue, parking amendments, Councillor Carmichael Greb.
Yes, I'm moving staff recommendations.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 16,
a group of residents who would like to speak to us on this issue, unless Community Council will trust me that we do not need or want a sidewalk on the very small Walker Road portion of this, in which case I would just move it now.
Councillor Fillion is moving no sidewalk?
If everybody's okay with that. If not,
Right.
yeah, just on the, not on Franklin. In fact, I'm insisting on a sidewalk there, but on just on the Walker,
infinitesimally small, yes.
on the Walker Road portion. Yes, so delete Walker Road from the recommendations.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you for attending. Item 17, fire routes. Will you? Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 18, fire routes. Councillor Shiner is moving. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 19, Councillor Carmichael Greb, appointments to BIA's Boards of Management.
Yeah, move staff recommendation on this, please.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Councillor Carroll, item 20.
unless anybody's heard anything from Councillor Burnside, I can move it. Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
All in
I'm happy
favor?
with it. Yep.
Opposed? Carried. Item 21. Hold. Okay, motion required to introduce the following. On behalf of Councillor Burnside regarding turn prohibition at Malcolm Road and Millwood Road. Councillor Carroll?
Say the address again, I'm sorry.
Malcolm Road and Millwood Road.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay?
I'll take care
All
of
in
it, yeah.
favor of introduction of this motion?
Yep.
Okay, Councillor Carroll, parking prohibitions on Farmview Crescent, Ringwood Crescent, George Henry Boulevard, and Parfield Drive. All in favor? Opposed? Carried? And there's a motion from the chair respecting 12 Catherine Road. Permission to introduce. All in favor? Opposed? Carried? Is there a liquor license to be introduced? No. Okay.
Madam Chair?
There are no additional liquor license applications to be introduced in item 21. Does anyone have any, or can we let that go?
I think we can let it go.
Okay, moved by the chair, all in favor, opposed, carried. So we have these outstanding items, 10?
Madam
Yes?
Chair, I also wanted to add an item to the agenda, which
Yes.
I'm just writing up regarding 4588 to 4600 Bathurst Street.
4588
to 4600 Bathurst Street.
to 4600 Bathurst Street. All in favor, opposed, carried. So Councillor Carroll has held item 10. Item 14 is held by a resident who requests to speak. And the additional items. Okay, which are being handed out now, some of them anyway. Mine and Councillor Shiner's aren't ready yet. So we can go to the first item on the agenda.
Madam Speaker, if you want me to deal with 10, I don't have any speakers. If you want me to deal with it quickly.
Yes.
It's just that I'll move the extended notice area motion. I don't know if folks want to post it because the addresses are kind of verbose. That the notice area of the community consultation meeting be extended to include, in addition to the 120-meter radius notice, all landowners and residents residing in the Henry Farm community, in brackets, the boundaries of the Henry Farm community, plus the northwest quadrant of Parkway Forest, bounded by Sheppard Avenue east to the north, Don Mills Road to the west, George Henry to the south, and Parkway Forest Drive and Forest Manor to the east, as well as Glentworth Road, from Shaughnessy Boulevard to Dallington, et cetera, Shaughnessy Boulevard from Sheppard Avenue east to Estabrook Avenue. And there's the rest of it, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to speak to this briefly. That looks like an awkward notice area, but I hope that that folks, should I not be here in the next couple of months, will pay attention to this application, 2600 and 2600 Don Mills Road, and a preliminary report the Chair of Planning and Growth might remember, 1650 Sheppard Avenue East. They're towers in the park types of apartment buildings that back onto each other. All of us in North York have one of these or multiple of these somewhere in our wards. But this one is rather precedent setting. These are towers in the park buildings close to higher order transit. And in this case, it's Don Mills subway station, but in the future, it's going to be Finch West LRT, anywhere along any of the transit lines we're building. So really, North York councillors will want to look at this, and full disclosure, I will not be here in the next couple of months as perhaps items come forward on context planning and such. But the reason this is precedent setting is these are towers in the park building where the building's on half an acre, the acre is behind it. And then there's a fence, and then there's another building. And backing onto another street, a third building, which probably will develop and submit an application soon. When you assemble it all back there, there are 3 acres with no access really to main roads because they're the backyards of apartment buildings, but they are in fact 750 meters from a subway station. And that could happen anywhere along Finch West LRT, There are lots of towers in the park out there. So how we set the context for these applications is really precedent-setting anywhere we're developing transit, and how we deal with access and egress, and in fact, keep to our policy of intensifying at the higher transit nodes. So I just put it out there for people. It may or may not be a brand-new councillor dealing with this application, and you may want to read the final reports and the context plans that go with. So that's, again, 2600 Don Mills Road and 1650 Sheppard Avenue East that was preliminary reported a couple of months ago. Those are my
Councillor-
remarks, Madam.
Sir, have you
Speaker.
had a chance to see the letter before, that I just placed before you?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yeah.
So you're moving,
Extended notice motion that I read
all
at
in
the beginning.
favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? Carried. All right, item 1, please. (101) and 103 Sheppard Avenue East. Is there anyone here to speak to this application? If you're here to speak to any applications, please register with the clerk beforehand. No one is here? Councillor Fillion, are you within earshot? Why don't we hold down this item and deal with item 14? Paula Albiani. Item 14. Speed hump poll results, Elm Road. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Go ahead, please.
Hi, I'm a resident at 448 Elm Road, which is in the area where we're looking to put speed humps. And I have 4 children, small children, that cross the street every day to catch their bus with cars zooming past at 60 to 80 kilometers an hour. When they did the study, they put out the wires to calculate how fast the speeds of the cars were going. And that particular day they did the study, there was construction on the street, double construction. Someone was redoing their driveway, so they had cars right where the wires were, and everybody was slowing down that particular day. On a regular day, the cars are flying by, children are trying to get to school, my kids are trying to cross the street to get the bus, and it's very dangerous. And hoping to slow down the traffic, I think speed humps would be a great idea.
Thank you. You may be seated. Councillor Carmichael Greb.
Thank you. I am going to be moving staff recommendations. Excuse me. This street, the cars do move very quickly, and especially up closer to where Paula is, there's about 2.5 blocks without a stop sign, so cars just zip up there and don't care about anybody else who is on the street. So I thank you for supporting staff recommendations on this.
Any other speakers? Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Have the additional items been given out yet? Yes? Right. So, Councillor Burnside, would you brief us, please, on the situation at Malcolm Road and Millwood Road? This is item 28.24.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, this is, it's a little bit of a strange intersection. Laird, Southvale, Malcolm, and Millwood all converge in one spot. And traffic traveling, I guess it would be eastbound on Southvale, trying to make the left turn onto Malcolm. It's only about 10 meters from the actual signalized intersection, and there's sightline issues, so we're asking that there be a left turn prohibition there. The configuration of that street has changed. It used to be one-way, Malcolm coming from Southvale. It's now two-way coming from Randolph, so cars can access from the side street.
Are there any questions of the speaker? Any other speakers? Could I have staff to the floor to comment, please? Thank you. Just a brief comment?
Yes, through you, Madam Chair. Yes, staff are in support of this recommendation. Staff
you.
have observed the conditions firsthand, and staff have also consulted with the Councillor's office. And
Thank you so much. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Councillor Carroll, are you prepared to deal with item 28.25?
I am, Madam Speaker.
So these are regarding the parking prohibitions on Farmview Crescent, Ringwood
yes.
Crescent, etc. Go ahead.
So, Madam Speaker, this is really just a matter of timing. We have dealt with staff on this matter already, and this was actually transportation staff's suggestion for a solution, and also Toronto Police Division 33 signed off on it. The problem was getting the petition, and the petition got here past the print deadline, so staff are not submitting a report at this time, but have been to the site to review it. The issue here is, this is all of the immediate streets just to the west of Parkway Forest construction site. We're right now at the intense point of all the skilled trades finishing Block B, while all of the crews that will start digging the foundation for Block C are about to arrive. And these people have just had it up to here with the construction workers clogging their streets. There are alternative parking recommendations for them on their development site. So this is about bringing the hammer down on construction workers not using their own designated areas.
Questions? Speakers? All in favor of the motion by Councillor Carroll? Opposed?
Thank you.
Carried. Thank you. Councillor Shiner?
Regarding the motion that I
Oh,
have?
one moment.
That's my seconder on the far side there. Madam Chair, the staff are just finishing the
Okay, so we're going back to item 1. Official Plan Amendment and Zoning Amendment Application 101 and 103 Sheppard Avenue East. There is no one here in the audience to deal with this item. There is? Have you registered, sir? Oh, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Filion.
Yes, move the staff recommendations.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
With your indulgence, Madam Chair, just, sorry, I was absent there. I was just trying to clarify my motion on item 16. And,
16?
yes, which, the sidewalk. What I hadn't fully realized is there's two sections of Franklin Avenue. The sidewalk is going on one section, but there's another section that is connected to Walker Avenue, that it's a sort of a laneway cul-de-sac.
Okay, so
So-
Councillor Filion is moving reopening of item 16. Can I see a show of hands? It needs 2/3.
So I need to,
All in favor, opposed, carried. Thank you.
so I need to include Franklin Avenue here because there's a couple of addresses that have a Franklin address that are on this little roadway as opposed to the big Franklin Avenue.
Do you want it held while you work on,
No, I think it's, I just need to include Franklin Avenue, that's all. So it just would say,
you have to be more specific for the clerk. Yeah.
it, the recommendation would be that North York Community Council direct the Executive Director of Engineering and Construction Services to delete the proposed sidewalk on the west side of Walker Road and south side of Franklin Avenue.
Just confer with Francine for a moment.
They're recommending that they go again. You don't want them to proceed with that, right?
No, it's, so deleting I need to just delete what's in the transportation report. So delete the sidewalk on the west side of Walker Road and south side of Franklin, and the abutting south side of Franklin Avenue.
Is it clear, Francine? It's not clear?
I think it'll be clear to the staff. No, I know, it's, yeah, I'm not moving the staff recommendations. I'm moving an alternative to the staff recommendations. Staff recommendations are for a sidewalk. I'm moving deletion of the sidewalk.
So,
All right, well, will someone move a 15-minute break, please? Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I mean, you're telling them not to proceed with the planned delivery of the sidewalk.
Right, but I had taken this out. Sorry, you had it right in the first place.
Yeah.
Councillors, we're resuming the meeting. When we broke, we were dealing with the item in Councillor Fillion's ward, 28.16, sidewalk issue. Councillor, has that been resolved?
Yes, first of all, I just want to say how lucky we are to have Francine. I moved the wrong motion, and she caught it and moved and prepared the right motion.
No
so
retirement in your future, Francine.
she's unbelievable. So I'm just direct the Executive Director, Engineering and Construction Services to not proceed with the planned delivery of a sidewalk on the west side of Walker Road and the south side of Franklin Avenue. And the confusion was there's two Franklin Avenues.
Okay. 2 Franklin Avenues. Okay. Any questions? Any more speakers? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. So that's item 16 dealt with. Item 2, Ward 16, final report, common elements condominium and part lot control exemption applications for 1238 to 1240 Avenue Road. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Have you registered with the clerk? You don't need to speak, okay? Councillor Carmichael Greb.
Yes, I'll be moving staff recommendations.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Can we put Councillor Shiner's motion, the new item, on the screen, please, instead of distributing it? Councillor Shiner's item is being distributed, 28.27, 4588 to 4600 Bathurst Street, Sherman Campus.
I'll just move the recommendations in it, Madam Chair.
Recommendation that City of Toronto Municipal Code, Chapter 415, Development of Land, Article 3, Schedule B, be amended to include the lands known in the year 2018 as 4588 to 4600 Bathurst Street. Councillor, do you want to explain this?
Sure, I'll talk to my colleague offline if you want for a moment. Okay, I'll vote for it. It's got to go to council anyways.
All right.
All those in
No
favor?
other speakers? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 28.3, please. Request for direction report, 3000 Dufferin Street. Councillor Cole. Is there anyone here for this application? Councillor, are you expecting anyone?
No.
No.
Oh, we do have a speaker?
You'd like to speak? No. So speakers should register with the clerk beforehand. Welcome, you have 5 minutes.
Hi, I just looked at the plan here on page 34, and I noticed the driveway is on the west side of the property. Why is the driveway not remaining where it is now, going on to Dufferin? This is going to really affect all the residents along the road there, along the residential road, and the school and Villa Colombo. that's my point.
Thank you.
The road should remain where it is now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Counselor to speak?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a slight amendment that just adds the words "in consultation with the local councillor" in terms of any discussions that go, ongoing discussions with the applicant. Just in general on this application, a resident has mentioned the road. There are so many problems with this application above and beyond the road. It's a terrible application. I would call it egregious, and I'm glad that we're giving direction to go to the board on this one with this recommendation to oppose. Hopefully the applicant comes to their senses and makes some changes, but it doesn't appear that way right now. So I'll move the staff recommendations that are in front of you with this slight amendment.
All right. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 22. I understand there is a deputant. 426 Glen Grove Avenue, residential demolition application. Yes, sir.
I'm just asking for a deferral, not to the next community council meeting, but the one scheduled for May 2nd. We have
Please identify yourself.
Yes, my name is Giovanni Tassoni. I am representing the applicant. And we have every intention on complying with the requests on the part of the councillor. We just need a little bit more time in order to get a hold of everybody.
Thank you. Councillor Carmichael Greb,
Yes, I'll move deferral to the May meeting.
to the May meeting. All right, thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 23. 1 York Valley Crescent encroachment appeal. Is there anyone in the audience here for this item? Councillor Robinson?
Yeah, I'd move staff recommendations to approve the request.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. The additional item, 28.26, representation at local appeal body hearing for 12 Catherine Road. I'll move it. To uphold the C of A decision. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Is that it? Councillor Carroll? You have a motion. Which one goes first? Councillor Carmichael Greb, you have a motion to introduce and enact certain bills.
Yes, that the North York Community Council pass and declare as bylaws bills 183 to 198 prepared for the February 21st, 2018 meeting 28 of the Community Council.
Shall these bills be passed and declared as a bylaw? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Councillor Carroll, you have a motion to introduce and enact the confirming bill.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. That the North York Community Council pass and declare as a bylaw a confirmatory bill to confirm the legislative proceedings of the North York Community Council acting under delegated authority at meeting number 28 on February 21st, 2018.
Shall this bill be passed and declared as a bylaw?
I know.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Meeting adjourned.
Are these guys coming back? Should we say goodbye to them? These two? It's their last meeting. Is this your last meeting?
Councillor Carroll,
Oh,
Councillor
is it your
Minnan
last
Wong,
meeting?
is this your last community council meeting before you?
If all goes well, touch wood.
Knock on wood.
Why? Why? Do you want it to be?
No, I need here for parking pads. Parking pads.
We wish you both the best
I
of
want to
luck.
be. I want to be here. Are we doing the bike lanes on Yonge Street? Because I want to be there for. No, that,
Goodbye, Dental.
Different committee. But we need you here for parking pads. Both of you.
I came up here and the traffic was horrible. Can you imagine what it'd be like with bike?
I always use the ring road, never had a problem.